All hungry, beautiful animals must adapt to these inhospitalities to feed the flourishing of fragile bodies. For pigs, elephants, orcas, dogs, and human beings alike, the phrase hungry, beautiful animals captures our shared predicament in a lovely way, with beauty hanging in the balance between desire and limitation, held in place by a hunger that pushes forward and inviolable animal limits that push back. But we human beings are the only hungry, beautiful animals so far whose adaptive strategies for feeding our hunger and negotiating our creaturely limits have proved mighty enough to challenge the Earth's capacity to continue nourishing vulnerable, dependent creatures at all, including us. This hunger for more and ever more convenient and comforting food is at the inception of our rise to prominence as a species. In his best-selling book *Sapiens*, historian Yuval Noah Harari describes our earliest ancestors as a race of cooks whose domestication of fire vastly expanded the range of safe, convenient, easily digestible foods, freeing humans to spend just 1 hour a day eating cooked fare while chimpanzees labored away chewing raw foods for up to 5. 300,000 years later, our enduring hunger for ever faster food in ever greater abundance is proving somewhat less liberating. Granted, spooky edition glow-in-the-dark Oreos are a thing and air frying is awesome. But the consequences of raising and consuming 80 billion land animals annually aren't so great. Climate science warns that we have less than a decade to take radical action to avert the worst effects of climate change. Meanwhile, the most prestigious peer-reviewed research on how to mitigate this coming disaster fingers industrial animal farming as among the biggest contributors to human-caused greenhouse gases and calls eating a plant-based diet the single biggest way to reduce our environmental impact on the planet. A wide variety of voices, from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations to the prestigious journals Science and Nature to the Eat Lancet Commission on Food, Planet, and Health, urgently proclaim in unison that if we want to save the planet, it's well past time to transition away from animal-heavy diets toward plant-based alternatives. And it's not just our planet that suffers from the excesses of industrial animal agriculture. Nutrition science and epidemiology reveal that our individual and collective health are at stake too. High rates of diet-related diseases like cancer, stroke, diabetes, and heart disease degrade the quality of our lives, hasten our deaths, and swamp our overtaxed healthcare system. COVID-19 is an all-too-vivid harbinger of the pandemic risks posed by bird flu, swine flu, and other zoonotic viruses. Not only are animal products making us sick, but they also threaten our ability to treat illness, as the overuse of antibiotics in confined animal populations is one of the main causes of antimicrobial resistance. To add insult to injury, the catastrophic practical fallout of our overconsumption of animals is predicated on a moral tragedy. Even as the science of animal behavior confirms that animals are intelligent, emotional, social creatures who care about their lives. Indeed, even as record numbers of us experience these truths daily with our beloved pets, our eating habits annually cause the miserable lives and violent deaths of billions just like them. Let's not forget that the labor required for raising and killing these animals is among the most undesirable and degrading work in the world, described in a recent Oxfam report as grim, dangerous, disproportionately unjust to people already marginalized by racism and/or sexism, and so mercilessly paced that workers resort to wearing diapers for lack of bathroom breaks. The nearly universal consensus of ethics experts is that the modern industrial food system is morally indefensible.